Hey, shalom, shalom, my beautiful people. How are you doing? We got a wet one over here today, January 34th, 31st, early in the morning, just about 10 minutes to 9. Okay, I got a one for you, man. We got to talk about this relationship thing because what's happening over here in the States with my people, my beautiful, beautiful family, beautiful black folks. What in the smoke is going on? Do you all see all this drama with some of our people? Not all of them, but this passport thing got a lot of people kind of like nuts, man. And we got to talk about that in another way. Okay, so we see the sisters saying what they're saying about the passport brothers. And from what I know, being that, I've traveled and lived in these other countries, what a lot of those girls are saying is not true. And I can tell based upon what they're saying, they ain't never traveled to even know what it is they're talking about. It's sad. But guess what? At the end of the day, we as a people are losing. Why? Because, okay, so in America, you got this thing going on here with the feminist movement. The women saying what they saying, doing whatever. And we see the relationship situation is ain't none. You don't see the marriages, you know what I'm saying? But what we see statistically is the majority of the marriages, they say it's statistically 75% of the divorces are requested by the women. And so, it's bad. So if the brother and sister's not getting together and having any babies, what's happening with the population? What's happening with the numbers of our people? They falling. So is this a form of sterilization? Is this another form of genocide? Because we dealing with a real wise and crafty being here. It's just like it said, just like it's written. The bandit, the devil, they wise to do evil. You know what I'm saying? They real wise. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is the correct use of knowledge. That's what makes you wise on how the way you use the information. Okay, meaning what? Like, okay, a child, a baby. A baby takes a hairpin or something and stick it into an electrical socket because it's down there by the baby and the baby curious. And the electrical socket knocked the literal fire out of the baby, right? So when that happened one time, that teaches him, don't do that again. The knowledge that he's gained now by getting his butt blasted back to the other side of the room, that knowledge done taught him what? Don't do that again. So he's wiser now. So what we're dealing with here is a crafty heathen that is wise to do evil based on the knowledge that he's gathered over the years of doing evil. Look at what's taking place. They beating the drums of World War III now. Where are our people in the midst of all that? Man, we basically shot the smithereens. When it comes to the relationship thing between the brother and the sister, the black man, the black woman, wow, that number between 20 and 30, that's very critical because that's the age that you be having the babies. You understand? Once you hit over 30, you should have already had the children based on the time cycle that they dealing with. You should have been had the children, and between 30 and 40, you're on cruise control. When you hit 40, they up, they moving, they grooving, either done finished high school or in the college, like that. But these years between 20 and 30, between the black community, man, we wreck. We taking a beating. The sisters is hollering and screaming about the passport brothers, but ain't nobody asking the question, why are they leaving? Okay, all right, so the question get asked, why they leaving, but are anybody really paying attention to the answer? Okay, so you're talking about the brothers leaving America to go somewhere else to get a wife? All right, why? Why? Have anybody stopped to ask the question with really serious sincerity to hear the answer why they leaving? You see, that right there will solve the issue. If you ask those brothers in all sincerity, why do you feel you need to go somewhere else to get a wife or a woman in a more traditional relationship? Well, the main ones that need to hear the answer are the women that the brothers are leaving behind. But what's the problem? They don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to hear it. Now, when you to a point in your life and your thinking that you don't want to hear nothing, nobody want to tell you nothing, and you feel that you right, but the results that you getting is not good, then somewhere along the line, you got to stop and say, okay, what am I doing? All of this that we're hearing about the passport brothers, going somewhere, and then everything that you're hearing the sister saying about the passport brothers is bad, is negative. They this, they that, they going to take advantage of them. It's all kind of terrible negative things that they saying about these brothers leaving America. And I can tell, being that I've traveled and lived in several other countries, that all of those women that are saying these things, they ain't never traveled themselves. They ain't even been nowhere. I can tell from the way they describing what's going on. They not telling you any details. Like I can tell you the time that I dated the sister from the Philippines for 5 years. I can tell you explicit details about her, how she handled me, the Philippines, her family, the whole 9 yards. The time when I dated the sister from Ghana, you know what I'm saying? I can tell you details about that. Here in Israel, dated the girls over here. I can tell you details about that. So when someone sit up and try to tell me about some people in another country, I can tell if you've been there or not because you'll have details in your explanation. You follow what I'm saying? So that's just based in ignorance. And so when you listen and you hear the sisters talk all these terrible things about the brothers that's leaving America, it's sad, man. It is really sad, to say the least. But I mean, me, I always like to lean to the positive and try to, see what we can do to make it better. This won't get better as long as we can't talk to each other. It ain't gonna be no better. It ain't gonna be no better. The only person that can tell you sister what you can do to be able to get one of these good brothers is the brother. Your man. Okay, so you won't have no man. You got a lot of these sisters they call pick-me or pretty girls. All right? And, they got themselves made up. They got the hair, the makeup, the nails, and the clothes. But they by themselves. They call themselves pretty girls, but they by themselves. They call themselves queens, but they by themselves. They got the banging bodies. They by themselves. They got the booties that they can make it clap, but they by themselves. All those girls that say they pretty girls, they go to bed by themselves. Do they ever once stop in their pretty girl life to ask why? Why am I here by myself? I'm looking all like this. And some of them do look good. I'm not taking that away from them. Some of those girls do look good. They have banging bodies, flat stomach, big butts, nice hip. They are beautiful, but they by themselves. So why in the world is it that you look so pretty, pleasing to the eyes, straight up eye candy, sweet as honey to the eyes, but you can't get a man? A black man, and not even a white man. I mean, I think that if you even got white men, you'd be more quiet because you'd be going on with your white man. But I'm hearing white dudes talk about modern women. They're white men talk about white women and they foolishness in America. And America's supposed to be the greatest country in the world. But you can't get no man. When men out looking for women in an environment where all dating sites are flourishing. You ever heard of a dating site closing down because of no activity? Nope. They got dating sites all over, and you can't get a man? Did you now, here's the Nubian king. I got to break it down to you, sister. Somewhere along the line, if you really serious about having a being with a man, you ought to stop and ask, what do you need to do? Or maybe you really don't want one. Maybe you just out here lying. Okay, so if the brothers are leaving America to get other women, okay. Well, why is it such a big issue? You know, see, that's what really like make you look really, really crazy. The dudes are leaving the country to go and get a wife somewhere else, and you not even interested in hearing why. Don't that sound a little nuts? Everybody walking away from you, and you not even concerned to know why they leaving? All you doing is sitting up and talking smack when they gone. But you ain't even asked why they left. You see how dumb that is? You can have all this outer beauty, but you rotten and sick and filthy inside your mind. That's why they leaving. That's exactly why they leaving. Because in your head, in between your ears, you filthy. Okay, so you got a wee man, a dude going for the nappy head, sister. Just pulled out a brush and a comb and slapped that stuff back in a rubber band and put a basic dress she snatched off the rack from Walmart and gone by her business in them shoes from Tom McCann. She gone. Got a man. Just like that. Why? Because she got love in her heart. She got compassion. She got conversation. It ain't about her. It's about them. It's about her and him. And in her conversation, you can hear that. You can hear it. But in the conversation with them girls, you can hear it's all about them. And that's the problem. But you know what? They don't want to hear that. Just like this video. Man, this video should be boom, blowed up. But you know the video get a lot of views when you're talking about dumb stuff, entertainers and sports figures. But something intellectual, 20 views, 100 views, 40 views, 50 views. That just goes to show you where the majority of our people at. And would that make me like lose my desire to say something to my people and try to make it better? No. You know why? Because even if it's the Taj Mahal and it ain't packed, if it's one person to come to hear what I got to say, I'm going to speak to that one person like the Taj Mahal is packed. Because that one person is here to hear what you have to say. That's why they're here. It ain't but one person out there in the audience. And that one person is sitting on the edge of their seat, ready to hear what you got to say. And you need to speak to that one person as if that place is packed to the hilt. That's why I'm still here. Yes, it'd be great to have a doggone YouTube channel with 1 million some odd followers and making some money like the rest of these folks. But you know what? Currently, that ain't where I'm at. I ain't got 1 million followers. I got, 649 people. Most of them listen, come back, hear it again. But what I'm talking about is something that I hope will help my people, those that need help. I know some of y'all, you know, you not, man, please, this guy. But then the majority of y'all was like, you know, I like listening to the Nubian King because he sound like my uncle, man, talking. You know, brothers just rapping to us, trying to put us on. And I look at my people across America in the age group that I'm really, really, you know, thinking about is between 20 and 30. That's where this bandit is making a real, real strong attack on. That younger group. The group that can produce more babies. You know, like once you hit over 40, 50, they call it now hitting the wall. Like you hit a certain age, then you ain't as sought after as them young girls. And then the problem, the young girls know they got those bodies, they know the men, and then they really kind of like, you know, talking to themselves. And it's sad, man. You know, like me, 61. I remember what it was like back in the day. Being married was the goal. Having your family, being a woman, taking care of your house. You understand? And while those sisters that don't know is talking all that yin yang about these girls in the other countries, these girls in the other nation have a culture that, you know what I'm saying, being married is a prize. You know, a lot of black folks is running into Ghana. Well, I'm not interested in going to Ghana. Why? Too many of y'all are there. You know why? Because after a while, y'all gonna spoil it with your American, Western, Euro, Gentile mindset. I listened to this black girl from America talk about what they was doing in Ghana, and she called the Ghanaian brothers and sisters natives. She said, we're doing this so the natives, it could be easier for the natives. Oh, what? This is what this woman said from America. Black girl. Whatever kind of business they got going in Ghana, she said, we are doing this so it would be easier for the natives to be able to take a part of this. I just shook my head. Back in the day when I lived in Ghana, they used to call black people from America Yankees. You know why? Because black people from America act just like white people in Ghana. And so when this sister, black girl, opened her mouth and called indigenous brothers and sisters of Accra, Ghana, natives, that's what they're talking about. The only people you hear refer to our people as natives or savages are arrogant ass old white people. Like this heathen sit up there in Europe talking about, I doubt if these Africans even know who Columbus is. You know what I'm saying? As if we super stupid. I remember when I was in Ghana, I met a sister. She ran off every single country on the continent of Ghana, the major city, and every major and minor natural resources that country was known to export. Off the top of her head. You go ask a white man that talking all that smack about Africa. She knew it off the top of her head. I sat down, was like, Shazam. So highly impressed. I told y'all about the Sudanese brother I worked with up here in Israel that set them chains on the ground. Generally, they do it in the air. But once I showed the Sudanese brother how we do it, he laid them out on the ground and did it just as perfect. I never seen nobody do that. So don't tell me Africans are ignorant people. It's just a stereotype here, arrogant butts. And I know we can pull this together when we get to the point of being able to talk to each other again. That's all we need to be able to do, to talk to each other. If we could get in there and talk with our sisters again, just sit down and everybody calm down. Stop hollering and screaming at each other and acting a fool. I'm sure we can make progress. But as long as our enemies, those who oppress us and hate us, see us carrying on like that with each other, they happy. All we need to do is to be able to sit down and just talk with each other. Sisters, if you can sit down and just talk with these brothers and listen. Brothers, if you can just sit down and talk with these sisters and listen. You know, when I was counseling marriages, the number one thing I began to see that was a problem across the board with all them marriages is the failure of communication, where the brother couldn't talk with the sister and the sister couldn't talk with the brother. They couldn't hear each other. She couldn't say what she wanted to say to the brother and have him to hear that. Okay, you can speak and you can listen to the words, but you have to be able to hear the spirit and what she's trying to tell you. And the brother, you speak to the sister, and the sister, you can listen to his words, but you need to be able to hear the spirit and what he's trying to impart upon you. But see, we done got to a point now as a people, black folks, especially in America that I'm talking to, we can't even talk to each other. Because we so sensitive, we got so much pride, and we done put ourselves so far up on the pedestal that we acting like we the only person left in the planet besides you. And we can't even talk to each other. So as long as that happens, yeah, them brothers gonna leave and go and get with sisters from other nations that are much more calmer and able to work with better, to talk to. That's all they doing. You fly into a country, man, first thing you're gonna do is start talking to somebody. Then based on your conversation, y'all gonna do a little more and get to know each other more, and whatever you do in the culture and everything, boom. And then you with somebody. But what did you start off doing? You start off talking to each other. That's it. But then the last point, I'm gonna leave you because I don't want to be here too long. When you look at these videos and you listen to what these women in America are talking about, it's all based upon what? Materialism, money, and things. There's no more love into it. Just like the sisters say, what love got to do with it? You know what I'm saying? It's no more morals and values, you know what I'm saying, and dedication and commitment. It's all based upon material things, how much money, what you can do for me. And then when you ask that question, what can you bring to the table? This goes bonkers. The women, they got a list of things the brother got to have. And have you ever heard a brother lay out a list of what the woman need? See there? So why is it that the brothers don't have these long lists of what things that the woman got to have to bring to the table? You follow what I'm saying? Every single time I hear that conversation come up out of America, what do you brother got to have to bring to the table in order to get a relationship with you? Oh yeah, it's the 6 figures, it's the car, it's the house, it's the clothes, get my weed, get my nail, what you can do for me. The restaurant, and that's basically it. Have you noticed that? That's basically everything about being with her. The modern woman is based upon materialism. So that's to say that as soon as you run out of your materialism, you can't give her things, she out. And that ain't even no good way to base no relationship. That ain't even no good way to base a relationship. Man, when I was over there in Ghana in the Philippines, man, my girl, she had a dress on cost $2 and shoes cost 50 cents. And she was happy as a sis in a boys club. One day she combed her hair back this way. The next day she took a little rubber band and put it back there. She was ready to go. Just wanted to be with her man. She had an outfit on cost $2.50. Y'all don't believe that. The dress was $2 and the shoes were 50 cents. Happy as a sissy in a boys club. And so we come back to America. Oh no. Hell, the fingernail cost $150, $200 just to get the fake nails on that. They ain't even real. Right there, you out $150, $200 right off the rip. Then all the makeup. Woo, here come the weave. And she don't want no cheap weave looking like a wig. And it's all about things. And you know what? I don't even want no woman like that. Me personally, if she ain't got some spiritual understanding where we can sit down and talk intelligently about something, I don't even want you. You don't even have to come in here with all the makeup and the drama and the nail and the nose ring, the toe ring, the earring, and all the equipment, and then you ain't got no conversation. Man. So, any sisters that can tell me the things that the brothers are asking for in these relationships, I doubt it very seriously. I doubt if I asked 100 sisters, what is it that they know that black men are seeking in these relationships? Out of 100 women, I bet you they couldn't even answer the question intelligent. Why? Because they don't give a crap. It's all about them. But if I asked 100 sisters, what does a brother need to get a relationship with her? Man, I wouldn't have enough time in a week to listen to all the stuff them 100 sisters be talking about. So y'all see how that is? I mean, you seeing this. I'm just pointing out the fact that I'm not hearing a lot of brothers with their list of things that the sisters need to bring to have a relationship with them. But I can hear from the sisters list of things that they say the brothers have to get with them. It's all based upon materialism. Things, stuff, rings, pocketbooks, shoes, clothes, money, car, house, all of that. And if that is what you based it on your reason to be with this man, you are not my type. Because if it ever get to a day where you can't get those things from me, you gonna be out. I don't know what the future gonna bring. I know I'm gonna be there. Whether I be there with a mansion, a million, 100 million, or a billion, I don't know. But I know I'm gonna be there. And so if your love for me as a man, if I were broke and butt naked standing on the corner, and you would still love me, then I know we can go in the future together. Because as things come, add on, and we get the mansion, we get the Ferrari, we get the Lamborghini, we get the Rolls Royce, that's going to make it even sweeter. But if it don't be that you got your $2 dress on and 50-cent shoes, and I got a shirt cost 25 cents and a pair of pants and some sandals, but you just happy to be with me, then I know we can go on in the future. But there is no future with a woman that's all about materialism. There ain't no future in that. Ain't no future there. And so if all she's about is materialism, what you can do for me, ain't no future there. This has been the Nubian King with some more dialogue on marriage and relationship to help you think. And again, I always say it because I love you. I love you from the lot. I love you from the basement of my heart to the attic of my mind. I love you 24/7. That means I love you all the time. Shalom.